Hey folks, CA Rachna Ranade here and I welcome you all to a brand new video which is really important. But before I start the video, let me wish you all a very happy new year in advance. Okay. Today we are not going to talk about what should be your new year resolution. But today we'll focus on something which you should not be doing in 2025. Today's video focuses on 5 points which you should avoid not only in 2025 but it's like forever, right? So what we are going to do, it's a fun filled video. So we are going to talk about 5 bad financial habits that one must avoid. But I'm not going to tell you only theory. We are going to enact some nice parts out of it. So I hope you enjoy this presentation in a different manner. So with that, let's move on with the very first bad financial habit, which is the just in case hoarder. And if you have some confusion, let's understand in a very simplified and fun filled way. अरे क्या मस्त शॉपिंग हुआ है मेरा, देखोगे? और 5
सभी सेम ही है।
हाँ, तो ये मेरा नॉर्मल साइज, जस्ट इन केस मोटी हो गई तो एल, जस्ट इन केस और मोटी हो गई तो डबल एक्सएल, और जस्ट इन केस जो है पतली हो गई तो एस, और उससे भी पतली हो गई तो डबल एक्सएल. Hello. Now, what is this just in case hoarder? I hope you have understood by now. But just in case if I become a little bit fat, then I need the higher size clothes. Just in case if I become a little bit slim, I need a lower size clothes. That is, every single time, if you keep on adding safety nets for multiple case scenarios, what are you going to end up with? You're going to end up with loads and loads of excess articles in your house, and also you may tend to spend more on unnecessary things, right? So this is only about clothes. I've seen so many friends of mine who have multiple earphones of multiple brands, and I ask them, do you want to open your own electronics shop or what? So that is the level up to which people unnecessarily keep on spending over the same things. But I hope you all might be aware about a new terminology which is actually kicking in, especially Gen Zs are talking about it, and that is nothing but the concept of minimalism. Minimalism states that to overcome this just in case wala situation, 3 things need to be done. First comes first, evaluate your needs. What do you actually need? Just to give you a simple example, assume that you are going to go on a trip and you feel that, okay, 3 shirts are enough for me. Maybe you may add 1 more for a safety net. So you say, okay, I'm going to buy 4 shirts. Then you do is you set a budget. Say you're going to set a budget of 2,000 rupees for 40 shirts. And at the end, you have to ensure that you're practicing minimalism. In simple words, you're not buying stuff which is unnecessary for you. With this, what happens is that you actually end up with manageable number of things at home. And also with that, you can also manage your finances better. हम यहाँ के चुलबुल पांडे हैं और हमें कुछ नहीं हो सकता है. Well, come out of this myth. Anything can happen to anyone. Life is so uncertain, and for that you need an insurance. Having a life insurance and having a health insurance are an absolute must. And if you want that, who better than Ditto can solve for all your queries? You can book a free 30-minute call with Ditto, and their advisors can help you out choose a plan which best suits you. They have a no spam policy, so you can be rest assured that you will not get any spam calls even after you register on their website. They have amazing Google rating as well, so don't forget to book your free call right away. The link is there in the description box and pinned comment below. Now let's move on with the second point, which is the financial illusionist. So just to explain the concept of financial illusionist, have a look at this.
सर दर्द हो रहा है.
फिकर मत, सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा. क्या हुआ?
मेरा आज गर्लफ्रेंड के साथ ब्रेकअप हो गया.
फिकर नॉट, सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा. क्या हुआ?
मेरे क्रेडिट कार्ड का पेमेंट ड्यू और मेरे पास पैसे ही नहीं है.
फिकर नॉट, सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा.
Oh, I hope you have understood what is the concept of a financial illusionist. A person who believes that सब कुछ ठीक हो जाएगा. Everything will be all right. Financial problems will also be magically solved. Does that happen? Obviously not. If you keep on ignoring the pain points, the problems are not going to solve. In fact, they'll worsen over a period of time. Now, what could be the financial problems? Some people understand that taking a personal loan is bad, but still they will keep on taking it. Some people understand that yes, they have to follow the 50-30-20 rule, but still they will not follow it, and they will go into maybe poorer or lesser savings, or in fact go into the debt trap, and then they'll say sab kuch theek ho jayega. That would not happen. Just last example is that some people understand that yes, they need to continue their SIPs through the thick and thin. So whenever markets are up or down, they have to ideally continue the SIPs, but every single time they'll have some excuse for not doing the SIP for that month. What is going to happen with this? This is just going to worsen the financial future of that person. Always remember that your daily choices either build your future, or you keep on financing the mistakes that you have done in the past. So just to give you an example, if you don't repay your high interest debts in time, you're not building your financial future, you are just going to pay for your past mistakes. So you have to get outside it. What is the solution? Two solutions are very important. Number one, you have to be financially disciplined. And not only discipline is required, you have to have proper consistency with which you're going to keep up with those approach sets. Okay, so I hope you have understood. No problems can magically solve themselves. You have to have financial discipline and financial consistency. Well, by now, I hope everyone has fitted this into your mind that sab kuch theek ho jayega is not a magical wand. You will have to work hard towards achieving your financial goals. And if you want to achieve these goals, ideally, step number one is to upskill yourself. Of course, today we are going to talk about 5 things that you should not be doing in 2025. But let's also talk about one thing that you should be doing in 2025, which is upskilling yourself. Promise yourself that whatever level of financial literacy I have till date, I'm going to upskill myself. I'm going to take myself one step ahead. And just to fuel your dream, I have come up with 2 coupon codes. The first one is for single courses and the second one is for combination or combo courses. This offer is valid only till 2nd of January 2025. So to invest in knowledge, don't forget to use these coupon codes and visit our website www.rachanaranade.com. With that, let's move on with the third point, which is the FOMO financier. And for that, have a look at this. मेरा नया वॉच देखा?
कौन सा वाला है?
अरे RR ब्रांड का है, एकदम लेटेस्ट, बेस्ट एकदम.
अरे वाह, मैंने भी ले लिया.
ठीक है, ये तो ठीक है. मैंने आज मेरा न्यूजीलैंड टूर भी बुक किया है. 14 days बिजनेस क्लास, सब एकदम क्लास ही क्लास, एकदम मतलब फुल.
कहाँ न्यूजीलैंड?
हाँ, एकदम मस्त. मतलब अभी year end and all that, तो उतना Instagram.
मैं भी जा रहा हूँ.
Now let's move on with the concept of a FOMO financier. What do we mean by that? I hope you have already understood with the help of that funny example. But basically it means that a person who gets easily carried away, gets easily distracted by the lifestyle of some favorite celebrities of his. Now what happens is that it could be either getting influenced by lifestyle of celebrities or your close friends, your relatives. So what happens in such cases is that, like you saw in that small drama, that just because I bought a new smartwatch, the other boy also bought a new smartwatch. Just because I had planned for a trip, he also spent money on that. Acha, please understand. It's not about he should not have bought the watch, or he should not have not booked for the trip. It's just that, did I plan for it and then do it? If the answer is yes, it's not bad. But for that person, if he had not planned for it, if it was something like an impulse decision, then it is wrong. Because typically what happens in case of impulse buying is that you tend to buy things which you really don't need. And that will bring more and more dent to your pocket. So what is the solution for this? How do you tackle such problems? It's very simple. First and foremost, the moment you feel that, yes, there's some sort of FOMO which is building up, take a step back. Ask yourself one question, that what if I don't own this? Is it really going to bother me a lot? If you remember, the boy already had a good watch in his hand. Just because he saw that I had bought a new watch, he added one more in his cart. So if he does not own the specific branded watch, how is it really going to matter him? That question is to be asked by every person to himself or to herself. And if the answer is, it's okay even if I don't own it right now, then ideally you should refrain from doing such impulse buying. There's also one more trick to avoid impulse buying. I've heard this somewhere. It says that add those products to cart. Let those products be in the cart for 7 days. For 7 days, you are not going to purchase that. Visit that cart again after 7 days and then ask yourself, Do I really need it? And what has been found in some studies is that 80 to 90% of the items many people have cancelled because they didn't need it. It was just an impulse buying which led them to adding those products to the cart. So take your decisions very wisely so that you reach your goal of financial freedom pretty quickly. Now let's move on with the fourth point, which is the gig economy syndrome. And I'm sure you might be like, Acha, Gen Zs might know what is gig economy. People like me, millennials, or even the, we call them as boomers, my parents' age, they may not be knowing about what is this gig economy. So first, let's understand this in a fun-filled way. And for that, have a look at this.
Bro, food delivery delete. अब से मैं पेट सिटिंग ऐप पे मिलियनेयर बनूंगा. देख, एक आदमी ने लास्ट मंथ 2 लाख रुपए कमाए.
अरे कल तक तो तू तेरे ज़ुम्बा क्लासेस स्टार्ट करने वाला था. उसके लिए नए जूते भी तो खरीदे थे.
वो पुरानी बात है यार. पेट सिटिंग इज द फ्यूचर. प्रीमियम सब्सक्रिप्शन डन. और मैंने डॉग साइकोलॉजी का कोर्स भी ज्वाइन कर लिया है.
अरे तुझे डॉग से एलर्जी है.
कोई ना, नेक्स्ट मंथ से मैं फ्रीलांस वेबसाइट डिजाइनिंग करूंगा. उसके लिए तो लैपटॉप लिया है.
He was ready to give up his existing assignment. After that, he was going to do something for the pets. Then he was going to do, earlier he had told me he was going to take some Zumba class. Then he decided that he was going to do something related to website development and all that. Oh God, what are all these things? These are called as gigs. Gigs are nothing but like small assignments. Okay. So many people, youngsters especially, those to whom I talk to, they feel that gig economy is the in thing. And those who are doing that old-fashioned 10 to 6 job, they're like, there's something bad that they're doing. I have actually met so many such youngsters. So, I mean, see, I'm not saying that they are, bad and wrong and all that, but we need to also understand the realistic side of this. Why? Typically, when you're going ahead with a gig economy, there could be a possibility that in some months the number of assignments that you get would be large, and in some months the number of assignments that you could get could be pretty much less. So your income can be really, really volatile. Plus, what happens is that those youngsters who take up any and every gig that comes their way, they generally don't opt for gigs which actually are related to their main skill set. And that could lead to something like doing any work without even developing their own skill set, which may help them in the longer term. So have I also done some side gigs in the past? Yes, I have. So I'll give you a simple example. I was doing a 10 to 6 job in one of the colleges. Then I got a teaching assignment for CA students. I used to do that from 7 to 9 in the morning. Then I got an opportunity to check papers of my CA related classes, where I used to get some 40 rupees or 50 rupees for checking a paper properly. So that was again a side gig that I did after 6 o'clock. So these assignments used to give me some additional source of income, where my 10 to 6 job was giving me a stability. So please understand that side gigs or side hustles may not give you that financial stability. So what ideally you could do is that ideally do a job. Other than the job, try and do some gigs. The day or after a few months, if you feel that, okay, now I feel comfortable that these gigs do give me at least a baseline level of income, then you may reconsider quitting, or you may consider quitting your job and focus more on the gigs. So all in all, first things first, don't leave your primary source of income right away. Number 2, first get that comfort over the income that you are generating from your side gigs. And number 3, also ensure that you are not moving far away from your primary skill set. Let's move on with the last one, which is called as the legacy builder obsessor. Now, what do I mean by this? For that, have a look at this.
सुनो, चाय पी लो, एकदम मस्त गरम बना है. So बाद में करो ना.
बेटे के रिटायरमेंट का ऐसे भी स्टार्ट करना है.
अरे वो भी 6th स्टैंडर्ड में, उसका रिटायरमेंट.
डोंट डिस्टर्ब. अब उसके बच्चों का भी एजुकेशन का ऐसे भी स्टार्ट करना है.
Seize the day, my friend. पहले इस दिन को पूरी तरीके से जियो, फिर उसके बच्चों के बारे में सोचो.
Oh God, I hope you understood that there are some people who may not only plan for themselves, they may plan for their children, and their children as well. This is too much of a legacy being built. That, in this case, what could happen? It could so happen that you keep on running behind, earning more and more and more, so that the future generations' finances are taken care of. But in this whole, hustle, what could happen is that you may prioritize only and only work over your personal life. there's that song, no, Safar Khoobsurat Hai Manzil Se Bhi. So while the manzil could be building legacy for your future generations, your overall life journey is also equally important. So understanding what is enough versus going into unnecessary excess. Oh, deep thought. What is enough versus going into excess? That is where you need to understand the difference, and you need to ensure that you are not only just going on building wealth for the next and the next and the next generations, but you also ensure that your personal life is also prioritized. You should not go into such a situation where at the age of 70 or 80 you may feel like, oh, what I did the whole life is that I just ensured that my future generations live a nice life, whereas I just kept on struggling. That should not happen. So I feel that though financial planning is important, equally or a shade more important is life planning. So think about it and also ensure that you balance these things pretty well. Let's move on with the bonus tip, which is the avoidance artist. Now, might be like, Rachna, no more terms now. Okay, I'll cut it short here. You know who is the avoidance artist? There are some people who watch my videos but never ever smash the like button, never ever share it with their friends. There are some people who have not even subscribed to my channel yet. Please don't be the avoidance artist. Do ensure that you are following this protocol of sharing, liking, maybe even commenting on this video, because the more and more you share this video, you will also be taking part in my initiative of Har Ghar Investor. You will be enabling people to understand financial concepts in a better way. I hope you found a lot of value in today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye-bye. You might have come across such advertisements on various social media platforms. Please note, all of these are fraudsters promising unbelievable returns through stock tips. I don't provide any calls or advisory services. I provide only educational content through my social media handles and through my website rachnaranade.com and rachnaranade.in.